If you're an AMath student, have you ever wondered how quadratic inequalities actually work? Now over here I have a very simple question that asks us to solve this quadratic inequality, right? You've got a quadratic equation that is bigger than 0. And what most AMath students actually do, which is the most dangerous part, you just blindly memorize the standard answers. But without intuition, without building understanding, your memorization will collapse in exam situations where they often change the question context. So let's take a look at this question over here. First thing is that what is this even asking us to solve? It is asking us to find the range of values of x. So it's asking us to find which values of x, when I sub inside this quadratic equation, will give me a positive value. So first thing I need to do is to visualize how does this quadratic equation actually look like. So if I were to let x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals to 0, and then I factorize it, I'll get x plus 1, x plus 3 is 0, and therefore x is -1 or x is -3, right? These are my two x-intercepts. So when I actually plot out the graph over here, this is how the graph actually looks like, right? It cuts down, goes up, and then goes back up. Here again, here is -3, here is -1, and here is 3. Now, which values of x will actually give me a positive region of the graph? It's actually in this portion and in this portion over here. And why is that the case? Because let's say I randomly take a x value over here, right? What is the corresponding y value? The corresponding y value will be here and corresponds to the positive y-axis, right? And then let's say I pick another x value over here. What's the corresponding y value? It's here and it corresponds to here, right? It also corresponds to the positive y-axis. Whereas if let's say I pick any x value that is between -3 and 1, the corresponding y value will be negative, as you can see over here. So the region that I want is actually on the left and on the right, because as long as x are within these two ranges, my graph or the value that I get will be positive, and therefore our answer will be x is lesser than -3 or x is bigger than -1 as the final answer to this whole question over here. So it's very important that you build intuition and really an understanding of what quadratic inequalities is, because the whole question can change if I just change the coefficient of x squared to make it a downward sloping graph instead, right? So if you want more examples of how questions can be tweaked, exam questions can be tweaked to test you this concept in multiple different ways and actually have practice to go and practice all the multiple different ways before your exam comes, then I've created the library of A1 Math Academy just for you, where I personally handpicked all the different exam type of questions that can come out, and I categorize them just for quadratic inequalities, and I left it in the quadratic inequality chapter in my library of A1 Math Academy, where you can get video recording answers to every single question that will automatically answer your doubt if you have any. So if you want to get access to that and you want to see how it works, just WhatsApp this number and I'll send you a demo link as well as an information kit to provide you more information on how the library works, together with our 24/7 turnaround premium marking service. And that's it. I'll see you on WhatsApp.